Have you ever noticed how silence can say more than words ever could? In a world that never stops talking, where notifications scream for your attention, people rush to fill every quiet moment with noise. There's a rare and powerful force waiting to be rediscovered: silence. Real silence isn't emptiness, it's energy, it's strength. It's the quiet confidence of someone who doesn't need to prove anything anymore. When you let silence speak for you, you're not withdrawing from the world, you're mastering it. Silence is not emptiness, it's not a lack of words or a pause in conversation. It's the sound of strength. It's the power that comes when you no longer feel the need to prove, argue, or explain yourself. In a world obsessed with noise, where everyone is shouting to be seen and heard, silence becomes your greatest weapon. It's not that you have nothing to say, it's that you finally understand you don't have to say everything. Because those who know their worth never beg to be understood, they let their silence speak for them. There's a quiet confidence in those who can stay calm when chaos surrounds them. You can feel it when someone walks into a room and doesn't compete for attention. Their energy speaks louder than any words could. That's the kind of power silence gives you. It's unshakable, it's timeless, and it's rooted in self-control. Because silence doesn't mean you're ignoring the world. It means you're mastering yourself. It means you know when to act and when to simply observe. Every time you choose silence over reaction, you reclaim your power. You stop letting people control your emotions. You stop explaining yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. Silence is your proof that you've grown, that you've learned to protect your peace instead of wasting it on meaningless arguments. Sometimes, walking away quietly hurts more than shouting ever could. Because silence makes people reflect. It makes them listen to themselves, to the echo of what they've lost, or to the emptiness left by your absence. But silence isn't just about restraint, it's about clarity. When you stop talking for a moment, you start hearing things you once ignored. The rhythm of your own heartbeat, the voice of your intuition, the calm wisdom inside you that only speaks when the noise fades. That's where real growth begins. You don't find answers in the chaos, you find them in stillness. That's when you start realizing who you are and what truly matters. When you let silence speak for you, you also become more intentional with your words. You don't talk to fill space, you speak when your voice carries value. You begin to understand that timing matters, that presence matters, that not everything deserves your reaction. People who speak less are often heard more, because their silence gives weight to their words. It makes others lean in, listen deeper, and respect your energy. There will always be people who mistake your silence for weakness. Let them, because silence is not surrender, it's strategy. It's the art of conserving your strength until it truly matters. You're not ignoring life, you're choosing your battles wisely. You're learning that not every action needs a witness, and not every truth needs to be announced. Some victories are best lived quietly, where peace becomes your loudest triumph. Silence builds power because it forces the world to pay attention to what you do, not what you say. Your discipline, your calmness, your grace under pressure, those things will speak volumes. You don't have to prove your worth, you show it by the way you carry yourself, the way you stay composed when others lose control. That kind of silence is rare, it's magnetic, and it's unforgettable. So when life gets loud, when people try to provoke you, or when the world pressures you to explain yourself, don't just breathe, step back, trust your silence, because silence doesn't mean you've given up, it means you've risen above. And in that stillness, you'll find something stronger than words: peace, power, and the unshakable confidence of someone who knows that actions, not noise, define their worth. Silence isn't just a mental state, it's something your body can feel too. When your mind is quiet, your body follows, and when your body is cared for, your mind finds peace more easily. True silence begins inside you, in the balance between physical health and inner calm. You can't have one without the other. The world teaches us to chase success, to work harder, to stay busy, but it rarely teaches us to slow down, to listen to our bodies, to nourish ourselves in silence. Yet that's where real strength comes, from the quiet moments when you choose health, simplicity, and balance over chaos. A healthy body becomes a vessel for a peaceful mind. When you eat well, move gently, and rest deeply, you give your body the silence it needs to heal. It's not just about avoiding disease or looking good, it's about creating a foundation of calm energy. Think about how your body feels after a clean meal of fruits, vegetables, and water compared to a heavy meal full of processed foods. One gives you peace, the other gives you noise. The food you eat speaks to your body, and your body speaks back through how you feel. Silence starts there with awareness. Every bite, every sip, every choice either adds to your peace or takes it away. A quiet, healthy diet doesn't demand extremes or perfection. It asks for mindfulness. Listen to your body's signals instead of numbing them with noise, caffeine, or distraction. When you eat slowly, you give your body time to talk. When you drink water instead of soda, you choose clarity over confusion. These small, quiet decisions don't just improve your health. They shape your mindset. You begin to realize that peace is something you can cultivate through the simplest daily habits. And then there's movement. Movement is a form of meditation. It's where silence finds rhythm. You don't need a gym or a perfect routine. Just step outside and walk. Feel the ground beneath your feet, the air filling your lungs, the sun on your skin. That's life speaking in silence. Every stretch, every deep breath, every slow movement reconnects you with your body. You begin to move not to burn calories, but to stay alive, to feel grounded, to let go of stress and return to balance. Light exercise, yoga, walking, stretching, teaches your body to breathe again and your mind to rest in stillness. When you let silence speak for you, your health becomes your statement. You no longer need to explain your choices to anyone. You eat mindfully, you rest intentionally, and you move with grace because you value peace over pressure. You start realizing that a quiet lifestyle is not about isolation, it's about alignment. You begin to wake up refreshed, think clearer, and respond calmer. You learn that silence isn't found by escaping life, but by living it gently with care and awareness. The world around you might still be loud, but inside you'll feel something different. Balance. Your heart beats slower, your thoughts soften, and your energy feels clean. That's the power of health combined with silence. A calm mind rests inside a cared for body. When you eat right, move often, and treat your body with kindness, you don't have to talk about peace, you radiate it. In the end, your body becomes your message. The way you walk, the way you breathe, the light in your eyes, all of it reflects your inner quiet. People will notice your energy even when you don't say a word. That's how silence speaks for you, through the harmony between your mind, your body, and your spirit. And once you find that harmony, you'll never need to chase calm again. You'll become it. Movement is one of the purest forms of silence. It's where the mind stops overthinking, the body takes over, and everything unnecessary begins to fade. When you move with purpose and awareness, your actions become a conversation between your body and your soul, a dialogue spoken without words. The world around you might still be loud, but inside that movement you find stillness, you find a rhythm that doesn't depend on noise, competition, or validation. It's just you, your breath, and the quiet strength that comes from being fully alive in the moment. So many people see exercise as a chore, something to check off a list or a punishment for what they've eaten. But when you shift your mindset, movement becomes something sacred. It's not about perfection or performance, it's about presence. When you go for a walk in the morning and the world hasn't fully awakened yet, that silence becomes your companion. The soft crunch of your footsteps on the ground, the whisper of the breeze, the steady beat of your heart. These are the sounds of peace. You begin to realize that movement doesn't disturb silence, it creates it. It grounds you in the here and now, reminding you that peace is not found in stillness alone, but in mindful motion, gentle exercise, walking, stretching, yoga, or slow breathing teaches you patience. It helps you listen. You start hearing your body's language, understanding when it needs rest and when it craves energy. This awareness becomes a kind of inner quiet, a deeper understanding of yourself. You don't have to talk about self, discipline, or motivation because your actions already show it. You wake up and move not because you have to, but because you respect your body enough to keep it alive and strong. That's letting silence speak for you, and in those moments of movement, something powerful happens. You reconnect with nature. You notice things that get lost in the rush of modern life. The way sunlight hits the leaves, the smell of rain on the ground, the rhythm of your breathing syncing with the world around you. These are silent moments that feed the soul. You can't buy this kind of peace. You can only experience it through awareness, through the willingness to slow down and move with intention. Your body was made to move, and when it does, it expresses emotions your words never could. Every stretch releases tension you didn't know you were holding. Every step forward becomes a small act of healing. Movement becomes your therapy, your prayer, your meditation. It's in those quiet moments that your thoughts settle, your stress melts, and you start to feel light again. Letting silence speak for you through movement means allowing your body to communicate what your mouth doesn't need to say. The way you walk, the way you breathe, the posture you carry, all of it sends a message. When you move calmly and confidently, you project strength without aggression, peace without passivity. You begin to carry yourself with quiet power, the kind that doesn't demand attention but naturally draws it. Over time, movement becomes your daily ritual of silence, a reminder that you're still capable, still growing, still alive. It's a conversation with yourself that requires no sound, only awareness. So keep moving. Walk slowly, breathe deeply. Let every motion remind you that peace is not found in stillness alone. It's found in balance, in flow, in the quiet rhythm of a body that honors itself. That's how silence speaks for you, not through the absence of motion, but through the grace of it. When your movements are mindful, your presence becomes your language. You no longer need to explain your strength, you embody it. And in that quiet rhythm, you find something most people spend their lives searching for: peace that doesn't depend on words, only on the silent beauty of movement itself. Not every noise deserves your attention, and not every battle deserves your energy. In a world overflowing with opinions, arguments, and constant distraction, learning to protect your peace is an act of strength. Silence is not about withdrawing. It's about choosing wisely where you place your attention. It's about understanding that your energy is sacred, and not everyone or everything deserves access to it. When you let silence speak for you, you stop wasting your strength trying to be heard by those who will never truly listen. You begin to realize that peace is not found in being right, it's found in being calm. There's a quiet power in knowing when to walk away. Some people thrive on chaos. They feed off reaction, off drama, off your need to defend yourself. But when you choose silence instead of reaction, you take away their control. You show that your emotions belong to you, not to anyone else. You don't have to argue to prove your truth. Your peace is proof enough. That's how silence protects your energy. It builds a boundary without needing words. It says, I refuse to let this drain me, without ever raising your voice. When you stop engaging in unnecessary noise, something beautiful happens. You begin to hear yourself again. You start noticing how much lighter life feels when you stop trying to fix, explain, or control everything around you. The world may still be loud, but inside you begin to feel quiet. That quiet becomes your sanctuary. It's not loneliness, it's clarity. You start to see who truly deserves your time and who only takes from it. Protecting your peace doesn't mean cutting everyone off. It means creating space for what truly matters. Sometimes silence hurts people more than words ever could, not because you're trying to punish them, but because silence exposes truth. It reveals who values your presence and who only valued your attention. It makes people reflect in ways that arguments never can. You don't have to explain your distance. Your peace speaks for itself. You stop chasing validation, stop needing closure, stop apologizing for prioritizing yourself. That's not selfishness, it's maturity. It's wisdom that comes from realizing your energy is not infinite. Choosing silence doesn't make you weak, it makes you powerful. It means you've learned to respond instead of react, to observe instead of absorb. It means you trust that not everything needs to be said, and not everyone needs to understand you. Silence gives you control. It allows you to decide what truly deserves your emotional investment. The more you protect your peace, the stronger your spirit becomes. You stop letting the world dictate your mood. You stop letting noise live rent-free in your mind. Peace is the highest form of wealth, and silence is how you protect it. It's a decision you make every day to stay calm in the storm, to smile when provoked, to walk away when disrespected. You begin to value your mental clarity more than temporary satisfaction, because reacting might feel powerful in the moment, but silence holds the real strength. Silence lasts, so when chaos tries to pull you in, pause. Breathe, remember that not everything needs your response. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stay quiet and let your energy speak. Because when you protect your peace, you protect your purpose. The world may never understand your silence, but it will always feel your power. And in that calm, unbothered space, you'll discover that silence doesn't mean you've given up. It means you've finally taken control. Your lifestyle is your message to the world, even when you say nothing at all. Every choice you make, every habit you keep, and every bit of discipline you practice speaks volumes about who you are. You don't need to announce your goals or prove your worth when your actions already show it. Let silence speak for you through the way you live, through your consistency, your patience, and your peace. Because the truth is, people hear your energy long before they hear your words. The way you wake up in the morning says something. The way you treat your body, your time, and your thoughts tells a story. A calm, focused lifestyle communicates confidence without arrogance. When you take care of your health, when you keep your environment clean, when you move with grace instead of haste, you become a living example of quiet strength. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're building a life that reflects your values. That's how silence becomes your language. It shows who you are without explanation. You see, noise is easy. Anyone can talk about what they plan to do. But silence requires commitment. It requires showing up every day and doing the work even when no one's watching. It's in the small, unseen moments. The early mornings, the healthy meals, the walks in nature, the decision to rest instead of rush, that you build a lifestyle that speaks for you. People might not see every step, but they'll feel the results. They'll see peace in your presence, stability in your choices, and purpose in your energy. A positive lifestyle doesn't just improve your health, it reflects your mindset. When your inner world is calm, your outer life becomes more organized, more intentional. You start surrounding yourself with things and people that lift you up instead of drain you. You begin to live with gratitude, with awareness, with quiet joy. You don't chase happiness. It grows naturally from the balance you create. And the best part, you don't have to talk about it. Your peace will say everything. When you live this way, your silence becomes magnetic. People will notice the way you move differently, the way you no longer rush to prove yourself, the way you handle challenges with patience instead of panic. That's the strength of a lifestyle built on self-respect. You're not in competition with anyone. You're not running from your past or trying to impress the future. You're simply living in harmony with yourself, and that harmony speaks louder than any speech could. The world values noise, constant updates, endless opinions, loud displays of success. But true power comes from restraint. It comes from having nothing to prove because your life already proves it. The way you treat others, the way you handle pressure, the way you keep showing up quietly with determination, those are your statements. You don't need to talk about your growth when your energy shows it. Let your routine speak for you. Let your calm show your strength. Let your silence reflect your progress. When you live with intention, eating well, resting deeply, staying kind, and choosing peace, you inspire others without ever trying to. You become proof that silence isn't emptiness, it's depth, it's discipline, it's self-respect lived out loud through quiet action. So keep living your truth even if no one notices at first, because the right people will. The right energy will find you. You don't have to explain your journey when your life itself becomes the story. That's the beauty of letting silence speak for you. It doesn't need words to make an impact. Your peace, your habits, and your quiet consistency will do all the talking. And in the end, the calmest voice in the room will always be the one that's lived, not spoken.